clouds, their bellies lit from within by silent explosions of lightning. Waves rise like moving mountains, then collapse, hurling themselves against jagged rock with the force of centuries. The coast does not retreat. It stands, scarred and broken, absorbing the blow. Here, nature does not ask permission. It declares itself. Wind screams across the surface of the water, carrying salt, rain, and the deep metallic smell of the ocean. The sea is alive tonight, angry, restless, ancient. Every surge is gravity in motion, pulled by a distant moon, shaped by unseen tectonic forces far below the surface. This is not chaos. It is precision on a scale the human mind can barely comprehend. Beneath the storm, the planet's crust grinds slowly, invisibly. Continents drift at the speed of fingernails. Fault lines lock and release. Time hardened into rock, lifted skyward by colliding plates. What looks immovable is the result of unimaginable motion. As the storm weakens, dawn begins to break. Light leaks through fractures in the cloud cover, spilling gold across the wet stone. Mist clings to the cliffs, rising like breath from the land itself. The ocean calms as if nothing happened, but the evidence remains. New fractures, shifted boulders, altered shorelines. This is divine power without intent, creation without mercy. Far inland, the land rises again, into mountains carved by ice and fire. Glaciers cling to their flanks, slow-moving rivers of frozen time. They grind valleys into existence, pulverizing stone into fine dust. Each year, they retreat slightly, leaving behind raw earth and exposed bones of the planet. Here, silence dominates. Not absence, but weight. The kind of silence that presses against the chest. Temperatures plunge far below freezing. Wind scours the slopes, stripping heat from anything exposed. Life here survives by adaptation alone. Animals grow thick coats and compact bodies. Plants hug the ground, growing low and slow, conserving every molecule of energy. A lone mountain goat navigates a near-vertical face, hooves finding purchase where none should exist. One misstep means death, yet it moves calmly, deliberately, as if guided by an instinct older than fear. Above, clouds race across the sky, shadows sliding over ridgelines like passing spirits. These peaks have witnessed the rise and collapse of civilizations far below. They remember when the ice was thicker. They will remember when it is gone. Water begins its descent from these heights, snow melting into streams, streams into rivers. They cut through the land with relentless patience. Given enough time, water defeats stone. The river roars through a canyon, walls polished smooth by endless abrasion. Layers of color reveal epochs stacked one upon another. Reds, blacks, ochres, whites. Each band marks a different world, different climates, different atmospheres. Once, this canyon was a desert, then a sea, then a swamp, then a desert again. Nothing here is permanent except change. In the heat below, the river becomes lifeblood. It feeds forests that erupt from otherwise hostile terrain. Green explodes along its banks, a sharp contrast to the surrounding aridity. Birds gather in astonishing numbers. Insects hum in dense clouds. Predators follow prey. An ecosystem stitched together by a single flowing artery. But even abundance carries danger. Seasonal floods arrive without warning, transforming calm waters into walls of destruction. Trees are uprooted, animals swept away, human settlements erased in hours. The same river that gives life takes it back. Beyond the canyon, the land flattens into vast plains where the sky dominates everything. Storms are born here. Heat rises from the ground, colliding with cold air above. The result is violence sculpted into clouds. Thunderheads tower kilometers high, their anvils spreading across the heavens. Lightning forks downward, striking the earth with temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. In that instant, sand fuses into glass. The ground remembers the strike forever. Rain falls in sheets, then vanishes just as quickly, swallowed by thirsty soil. Life here waits patiently, dormant until the moment arrives. Seeds lie buried for years, sensing subtle changes in moisture and temperature. Then almost overnight, the plain erupts in color. Flowers bloom where nothing existed days before. Insects arrive as if summoned. Grazers follow, then predators. A miracle repeated endlessly, yet never guaranteed. As the land stretches farther, vegetation thins again, replaced by stone and dust. This is the desert, an ocean without water. Dunes ripple like frozen waves, shaped by winds that never rest. By day, heat shimmers, distorting the horizon. By night, temperatures plummet, cold biting through flesh. Survival demands precision. A desert fox emerges at dusk, ears oversized, fur pale. Every feature is a solution. It hunts in silence, listening for movement beneath the sand. One leap, one strike, and energy is secured for another day. Above, the stars ignite the sky. Without moisture or light pollution, the universe reveals itself in full. The Milky Way arches overhead like a celestial river. Here, humans feel small, not insignificant, but measured. Ancient peoples once believed the gods lived in places like this, where survival was uncertain, where power was visible. They carved symbols into stone. They aligned monuments with solstices and stars. They told stories of creation and destruction, passed down through generations. These myths were not naive. They were interpretations of observation. Because nature does not whisper here, it speaks in extremes. Far from the deserts, deep within dense rainforest, another face of power emerges. Humidity wraps around the body like a second skin. Life presses in from every direction. Rain falls daily, feeding a system so complex it rivals any city. Trees rise hundreds of feet, their roots flaring wide for stability in shallow soil. Vines strangle and support in equal measure. Fungi recycle death into life. Every inch teems with movement. Insects flash iridescent colors. Bird calls echo through layered canopies. Predators remain unseen, sensed only by the sudden silence of prey. The forest breathes. It exhales oxygen into the atmosphere, regulating climate far beyond its borders. Storms born here travel thousands of kilometers. Rain falling on distant lands begins as vapor lifted from these leaves. Destroy the forest, and the balance shifts. Rivers dry, soils erode, climates unravel. Power does not need to be loud to be absolute. Beyond the forest, the land rises once more, into volcanoes that glow faintly in the night. Molten rock pulses beneath thin crust. Pressure builds. Gases escape through fumaroles, hissing like living creatures. Then, without warning, the mountain opens. Fire spills into the sky. Ash darkens the sun. The ground trembles. Entire landscapes are erased and rewritten. New land is born from destruction. Volcanic soil becomes some of the most fertile on Earth. Forests return. Animals follow. Humans build again, drawn to danger by promise. This cycle has repeated for millions of years. Creation through annihilation. Even the oceans, vast and seemingly eternal, are shaped by violence. Underwater mountain ranges stretch across the globe, longer than any on land. Magma rises, cools, spreads. The seafloor grows. Currents move heat around the planet, controlling climate. Life thrives around hydrothermal vents, drawing energy not from sunlight, but from the earth itself. Proof that life does not need gentleness, only opportunity. From storm-lashed coasts to frozen peaks, from burning deserts to living forests, the planet reveals its truth. It is not designed for comfort, it is designed for balance. Humanity exists within that balance, not above it. When we listen, we survive. When we forget, the land reminds us. Because this power is not cruel, it is indifferent. And yet, within that indifference, there is beauty so overwhelming, it feels sacred. The storm returns to the sea. Clouds gather once more. Waves rise again toward the waiting cliffs. The cycle continues, uninterrupted. And standing before it, we understand. This world was never meant to be conquered, only witnessed.